Shouldn't hurt to have one more.
Mike is on the chair.
All right, well, as mentioned, my name is Justin Miller, and yeah, I guess you guys can tell it's not a very common name, or it actually is a really common name, but I do have the best common last name you can have. After all, I'm able to relate to every brand of Miller beer. When I was a kid, I was Miller Lite. When I'm relaxing, I'm Miller Chill. When I'm telling the truth, I'm Miller Genuine. If I ever go into the army, I'll be Miller Draft. If I ever decide to start smoking weed again, I'll be living the Miller High Life.
No, that's it.
That one always seems to get the best response. I don't quite know why. Don't worry, there'll be more time for that later. And as I'm telling this joke, I'm Miller Dry. And finally, as the Miller slogan says, when I bring a girl home, it's not just a good time, it's Miller time. Well, along with having a name that's not unique at all, I'm also accident prone. Actually, I found that out on the way in. Man, those stairs are a doozy. I'm pretty sure the bouncers thought I was drunk before I even got in. Oh yeah, and I'm blind. That's like being punished for the same thing twice. Good, I'm getting laughter from that. A lot of times I get pity for some reason. Well, with being blind, you get asked a lot of interesting questions. The one I get asked all the time is, so, if you can't see, how come you just don't wear glasses? To be honest, if it were that simple, I'm sure I would have figured it out a long time ago. Besides, I'm way past the childish notion where wearing glasses isn't cool. Thank you. Oh man, this makes it even harder to see, but it makes the lights better, so I guess it balances out. Well, also the other question I got, which I still think is the weirdest question I've ever heard. I was in grade 8, and a kid came up to me and he said, Justin, I know you can't see, but does that mean you can't cry? To which my immediate response was, no, but I can make you cry. Besides, if I was 100% blind, I'd need either a cane or a dog, both of which would be very helpful in getting my point across. Well, being blind's not all bad. I mean, the sex is incredible. I don't even need the paper bag. I've got that part covered. Okay, I guess that gets the best response. So I've been seeing this girl for a while, and she has this problem. I guess she's kind of got low self-esteem, because she always says, I want to have sex with the lights off. I said, why? I see the same amount when the lights are on. Which is nothing. Anyway, one night we're laying in bed, and she turns to me and says that, best answer to anything, which was, you can do anything you want to me. I took that a little bit further and said, like, come on your face? She said, yeah, but not in the eye. I said, why? Don't you want to have something in common? Thank you for not taking that any other way except for her not being able to see. I know that could be implied for something else. Alright, I'll just wait until everybody calms down. Thank you. Well, I guess if you notice that I'm wearing these dark sunglasses, and, they kind of help me through a lot of things, i.e. the lights on the stage, to do the job that I have at work. And because of that, my coworkers have dubbed me Ray Charles, or Stevie Wonder, but I can't see the difference. And not only, I know I mentioned earlier that I get some questions when I have a visual disability, but I also get solutions, and some of them are pretty creative. Once someone was like, why don't you just eat carrots? I heard they're good for your eyes. I tried that. I ate about 6 bags, and before I knew it, I was more orange than those guys off Jersey Shore. Sorry to any Jersey Shore fans or Snooki fans or whatever, but fuck, they're orange. Even I can see that. The second one, which is always my favorite, is always coming from the same person. They're always really mellow, and they always go and say, "Hey, you want to just try smoking weed? That should make your eyes better." I tried that too. It just made things worse, because I just wound up with tunnel vision. But I was the most focused I've ever been. After all, I wrote that joke when I was high. Took me about 3 hours, though. Also had the munchies for days. One thing I like to do while being blind, and I'm probably one of the only people that can get away with this, is I like to go into a restaurant and order something off the competitor's menu. You know, I walk into McDonald's and order a Whopper. And once the 18-year-old punk behind the counter stops freaking out, I say, "Hey, give me a break. I couldn't see the sign." I guess there's only real one downside to being who I am, and that's not being able to drive. But I don't see that as a bad thing, considering how bad Thunder Bay drivers are. I mean, we have an improper turn named after us. You know, the one where there's 2 lanes open and you should go into the nearest one. Instead, you go into the furthest lane, cutting off the nearest motorist. That, my friends, is a Thunder Bay turn. It's so true. I like hearing that in the background. That's an admission of guilt, you know. I'm just joking. He's going to beat up a blind guy after the show.
Wrap it up.
All right, no problem. I'm just going to end by saying one joke that actually has got a bit of basis of truth to it. I once read an article that said, if a man stares at women's breasts for 15 minutes a day, it's equal to 30 minutes of exercise for your heart. So, ladies, I hope you don't mind if I ask to get a closer look. It is for my health, after all. Thank you very much.